Welcome back to my channel, everybody. It is November, which officially in my books means it is the holiday season and Christmas is upon us. Guys, I'm so excited to decorate the loft for the holidays. I am going to do a whole video on it. Long story short, it's almost Christmas time, and this is just one of my favorite times of the year. It is so magical living in a big city during the holidays because there's just so many things to do. It feels so festive. So I built out this weekend itinerary if you were to do a perfect holiday weekend in Chicago. Do you guys like my hat? I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you so I don't get it in the comments, but it's from Alice in Wonder. I'm a big fan. So I built out this itinerary from like a Friday to a Sunday if someone's coming into the city and wants to do as much holiday stuff as possible. I think this kind of has something for everyone. That being said, let's go ahead and just jump into it. So for all of my itineraries, I always recommend for people to stay at Sentral, an apartment building in South Loop that does short-term stays. I do have a discount code for 10% off. Also, I haven't stayed in that many hotels in the city since I live here, so I don't have that many recommendations. Another one that I did want to throw out there that could be good too, I know Swiss Hotel and Fairmont both do big holiday celebrations. I've been to the Fairmonts before, and that is like a very, very fun vibe. And then I think Swiss Hotel does like brunch with Santa. If those are more so what you're looking for, those are good options too. No matter where you end up, let's say that you arrive into the city on a Friday and you are ready to hit the ground running with a little bit of the Christmas spirit. First thing I would always recommend for somebody to do is walk through Millenium Park. It is just such a fun Christmassy vibe. The tree in Millenium Park is huge and beautiful. You're going to want to take a picture in front of it. And then why not kick it off by doing some ice skating in Millenium Park? You could also go to the Maggie Daily Ribbon. However, Millenium Park is like the actual rink and it gives me a little bit more, is the je ne sais quoi, like Rockefeller Center in New York City. It kind of has a little bit more of that vibe versus the Ribbon. Also, I went to the Ribbon last year with all my friends, and the one thing I didn't like about it is the ribbon's so long, the Maggie Daily ice skating ribbon, that if someone's on one side and you're on the other, you don't see them for like a long time. Whereas if you're in a rink, you can see everybody the whole time. But like how festive to just kick off your trip by ice skating underneath the bean and seeing the Christmas tree. From there, hop on the red line and go north up to Wrigleyville. There are so many holiday pop-up bars. They're kind of cheesy. They're a little bit expensive, but honestly, if you're in the city for specifically a holiday weekend, they are pretty fun. There's Frosties, Rudolph's. There's honestly so many. If you look up holiday pop-up bars, I don't even know all of the ones that are coming out this year, but there are always so many. They have really crazy festive drinks, lots of different areas to get fun festive photos. It looks like an elf threw up in these bars. Like, I don't know where they keep these decorations the rest of the year, but they are really, really fun and worth checking out at least once. Day 2, we're going to try and beat the crowds, which is kind of hard to do. So I'm very serious when I say wake up bright and early and head to the Chriskindlemarket in the Loop. The Chriskindlemarket is a very, very fun and festive vibe. It feels like you are in one of the markets, like in actual Germany. I just recently worked with a client who was looking for an apartment who was from Germany, and she was like, yeah, you know what? It's actually pretty good. And I was like, hey, if you're saying that, I'm kind of impressed by this. The cool thing about the Chriskindlemarket is there are tons of different food vendors. So my personal favorites, I love the raclette. Those like cheese sandwiches are delicious. The mulled wine is really fun. Every year the Chriskindlemarket comes out with like a annual like mug. And so you can collect the different mugs from over the years if you wanted, which is a pretty cute thing to do. There's hot chocolate. There are tons of different baked goods stands, and there's a good variety of different German food. So it is really fun to check it out. It's somewhat expensive, but they do have a like Christmas ornament stand as well. And they have a lot of Chicago local ones, which is some of my personal favorites. So you could get like a Christmas ornament of the bean or something like that to like commemorate your holiday trip to Chicago, which I just think is super fun. All right, once you've had your fill of a fun little festive snack and a little festive bevy, this is your time to do your holiday shopping on the Magna Mile. So many people come to Chicago to do their holiday shopping, and I get it. We have quite a plethora of stores to pick from. But Mag Mile on top of that is just very, very cute. No matter what time of year you go to Mag Mile, they decorate the planter boxes. They're absolutely stunning. It's very pretty and really well kept. There is a reason it's called the Magnificent Mile. With that, it'll be decorated for the holidays, which is just really fun and pretty. And a great time to wander all the way up and start at State Street, go all the way north up to the Tribune 900 shops area, and just get your holiday shopping done. But also, you're just kind of in the vibes of everyone out enjoying the city, looking at the festive sights. Don't worry, this will not be your last time on Mag Mile. I'm going to send you back there on Sunday. However, once you are all tuckered out from shopping, which for me takes approximately 30 minutes and I'm over it, you're gonna need another little snack to kind of hold you through the day. I recommend going to JoJo's Shake Shack in River North. This is another one of those things. It's touristy, it's cheesy, it's a little expensive, But for the holidays, it's so cute. JoJo's is a milkshake shop, and they do the most extravagant, like over the top milkshakes that you will ever see. The place is decorated like crazy, which is really fun on its own. But these milkshakes, like they're Thanksgiving ones, you get like a full slice of pumpkin pie on them. Like there's whole donuts. Like I at some point saw like a full chicken drumstick on one. Imagine like a crazy Bloody Mary bar, like the craziest Bloody Mary bar you've imagined, but that with milkshakes. That's JoJo's Shake Shack. It's a lot of fun. A lot of people really, really enjoy it. I'm not a huge sweets person myself, so it's not somewhere I frequent often. However, like I said, if you're looking to really just jam pack yourself full of holiday spirit, I recommend it. I think that that's a fun one to check out. Okay. Next on the list for Saturday, and this one can take a little bit of planning and you kind of have to commit to the bit, but if you want to, it is super cute. This would be tracking down the holiday CTA train. The holiday train is so much fun. It is the cutest thing in the entire world. I've personally never like actively worked to track it down, but I have come across it at least once a year. It's so freaking cute. They decorate this holiday train to the tens. It is just so well done. So many Christmas lights, so much wrapping paper. There's a whole car of just Santa in a sleigh and they're blasting Christmas music. I think it's one of the coolest things that the city of Chicago does. I love the holiday train. You can look online and see which train lines it's running because it'll always, like, it changes each day. So one day it'll be on the pink line, then it'll be on the red line, then it'll be on the blue line. Figure out which train line it's running at and go stalk it. Go find that train. I've never been on it, but I just know, like, I know it'd be so cool. So I do highly recommend that if you have the time and you want to commit to it. I think that that would be such a fun and special thing to do. Last but not least, Saturday night, I've left as a little bit of a choose your own adventure with two different options. Option number one, you could head up to Lincoln Park, which is always just a cool vibe on its own, and go to Zoo Lights. Zoo Lights is at the Lincoln Park Zoo. You do pay for tickets for Zoo Lights, but it's not super expensive. I don't know what their ticket prices are going to be yet this year, but it's usually pretty reasonable. Not only can you see all of the animals, a lot of them are put away because it'll be nighttime or it'll be cold, but they also just decorate the zoo like crazy with like tons of Christmas lights. It's really fun just seeing everyone out there like enjoying them. There are bars and restaurants within the zoo so you can grab food and drinks and stuff. It's a little bit of a special vibe, and I think that that's a fun one that you can't do everywhere, so I really, really like that. The other option would be going into the loop and going and see the Joffrey Ballet Nutcracker. This is such a classic. My mom used to be a professional ballerina. So when I was a kid, my mom would take me to go see the Nutcracker every single year. And it was just like such a special memory for the two of us. I would get all dressed up. We'd go to the show. Like it was always so beautiful. My mom obviously loves watching it from a ballet perspective. So I actually took her to the Joffrey Ballet Nutcracker maybe 2 years ago. She loved it. It was so much fun. But that is something that, like, if you're looking for a little bit more culture or something that's a little bit more of the arts, I suppose, I do highly recommend it. I don't know if they change up the ballet every year, but when I saw it, they like reworked the Nutcracker story a little bit so that way it was actually taking place in Chicago at the World Fair, which was a really, really fun twist. So I don't know if they always do that, but the Joffrey is incredible. Those ballet dancers are so talented. The costumes are incredible. The sets are incredible. So if that's something that you are interested in, highly recommend. And then just to throw a third spanner in the works here, there are also other Christmas shows that come through too. So I've seen like a Cirque du Soleil Christmas show before. There's comedy shows that do different Christmas themes, like at Second City, they'll always have some sort of ongoing Christmas show. Tons of different things you could go see. So if that's something that interests you, there is a plethora of options you could do that night. All right, rounding out the weekend with your Sunday. Kick off your day by going to a high tea. This is also something I would always do with my mom as a kid. We would go to high tea in San Francisco, where I'm from. Go find a high tea here in Chicago. The Drake has a really great one. The Langham has a really good one. You get all dressed up. You go eat your little finger sandwiches and your little cups of tea and your scones with your clotted cream. It is so fun. It is just such a lovely activity to do. It's very relaxing. All the snacks are tasty. You feel so posh. I love going to high tea, and to me, that is such a wonderful Christmassy activity. Now I'm going to have you head back up Mag Mile, but this time you have the specific goal of stopping and taking a picture in front of the Christmas tree underneath the Wrigley building. This is my personal favorite Christmas tree in the city. I think it's just really pretty with it being like the all gold lights and everything. I think it's very classic. I love getting a picture in front of this tree. I also think it is a really cool background with the Wrigley building, very old Chicago architecture classic. So that is such a beautiful photo stop. get a picture with your family or whoever you're here with to commemorate your wonderful holiday weekend in Chicago. And then last but not least, before you head out of town and get all of the sugar out of your system, we have one more stop, and that is to go to the Starbucks Reserve on Mag Mile. I'm assuming the weather will likely be very, very chilly while you are here for your holiday weekend. The Starbucks, not only do they do really, really cool and creative different coffee drinks that you could get, and they definitely will have a huge selection of holiday coffee drinks, but they also have a bar upstairs where they do different unique cocktails, such as like a hot toddy or things like that, which are really, really fun to be able to try out something a little bit different for the holiday season as well. I'm not a huge Starbucks fan in general, but the Starbucks Reserve, there's only a handful of them in the world. I'm pretty sure the Chicago one is the biggest, and it is just something that you can't do everywhere, and I think it is worthwhile checking out. All right, guys, that is going to go ahead and wrap up my holiday season weekend itinerary for you. I hope that you liked it. If there's anything that you feel like is a really great holiday recommendation that I happen to miss, go ahead and comment that down below in the comments section. I'd love to be able to see what other things that you guys do for your holiday traditions. If you liked this video, as always, give it a thumbs up and hit that big red subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Happy holidays.